Yes, I have the privilege to talk about how to grow a global business from anywhere. And I feel this is something very close to my heart. Just last week we had the SA Innovation Summit in Cape Town. I do it in Cape Town because they lobbied us to do it from that city. I have lobbied this city, but they haven't listened to me yet, so maybe TEDx will make the change in Pretoria come alive. But I've had the privilege to see amazing businesses exit to Silicon Valley, to other buyers across the world for billions of rands, and they from Africa to the world. Yoko just raised 249 million rand for their business, and I'm talking that level not to say if you run a small business that's not important, because I think the economy is made of small businesses. But I want to say to you, whether you live in a township, whether you live in a Pretoria or a Cape Town or anywhere in Africa, you can build a global business. So I'm going to talk about my own journey, because I have built a global business, and but I think it reflects other people's journeys as well. And when I started my route as an entrepreneur, I yearned for somebody to tell me how it is to be an entrepreneur, and I literally had nobody in my family. My family is made of preachers and teachers. There were no entrepreneurs there. So I had to forge my own way through, and I want to share 7 things that I've learned, and it has built my business, and I'm doing it every day still. So I think these are 7 important things that made a difference in my life that I want to share with you. And the first one is, it starts with a dream. Now, if I look out over this amazing crowd, I'm wondering what dreams you dream. Because I think what you dream is what you become. And never stop dreaming. I'm much older than most of you, and I still dream, because I'm still going to grow immensely in what I'm doing. So honor your dreams. And when I was on a campus, this campus to be precise, I was not an amazing student, I must confess. I was a dreamer, and I missed class, and because I dreamed too much. So I therefore, when you feel guilty, just make it a worthwhile dream, because that's where it starts. Then the next step, obviously it can't stay in dreams. You must actually then try and fail. So as a student, I sold makeup, I sold jeans, I worked at Pick n Pay, I worked at restaurants, I was fired twice. But everything I tackled taught me something that I could apply in building a business later in my life. So try something. All those business endeavors also didn't go anywhere. I lost a lot of money there. I actually took one of my student loans and invested it on the stock exchange, and I lost everything. So I had to go and work to make up that money to stay in university. So you can make mistakes as long as you learn from what you've done. Then mindset. I think mindset is extremely important. Challenge your own mindset every day, because mindset often comes from the outside inwards. Your parents teach you, society teach you. I think a lot of these talks that we've listened to today tells you about this mindset. Your job is to challenge your mindset, because your mind is the thing that keeps you smaller than you have to be. Your mind is the thing that makes you bigger and makes you pursue your dreams. So I want you to check your mindset. One thing that I had to check is, because both my parents were teachers, their message was, you do good in the world. It wasn't said, but it was implied, money is evil. That is a mindset that really hampered my business growth, because it was hard for me to write the invoice. It was hard for me to charge for my time. And things that I had to overcome, because if you're in business and if you don't invoice, you don't have a business. And a business is created for profit, so don't feel guilty about it. And you can do tremendous good and make good money. And that's a big mindset that I had to overcome. Then, a very important thing is to find your bliss. What makes you truly happy, and connect it with your purpose. If you can then connect it with your business, you will have a phenomenal life. I was lucky, I was 22 when I went on a course for creativity for Edward de Bono. I'm not even sure if he's still alive, but it really inspired me. It was so amazing. I fell in love with the principle of creativity, and creativity then I used in my first job at the Department of Labor, so that was a job, I wasn't an entrepreneur yet, and I designed a course on creativity that was very popular ultimately. I also decided that it's such an important message that the DG and the chief directors must listen to this, and I was 22 years old. It took me 9 months to get a proposal through the government service, but I got all of those guys in one class. They listened for 2 days about how creative they should be in government, and then they increased our training division's budget with 15%. I was young, that was a huge validation for me, and I think it built my entrepreneurial career in government service. So you don't have to wait. You can be an entrepreneur wherever you are. And I've seen it today with the great ideas that people proposed. Then, when you've looked at your bliss, a very important thing that I've learned in my business career is that you must measure what you do and you must communicate it. So in the first summit 11 years ago, we started with 78 people. So I can still tell you that 11 years further because we measured. Then you take this into a newsletter and tell the world. This was the first summit, 78 people. Last week in Cape Town, we had 1,555 people, and they came from 32 countries. Our newsletter goes to 52,000 people. Our social media touches 24,000 tech entrepreneurs across South Africa and into Africa. So if you count and if you measure, your story becomes substantive. At the moment, I've got about 4 people who want to invest in the business, and we're franchising this model into Zimbabwe, into Nigeria, into Australia, and there's other conversations. Even India is talking, early talks. So measure and communicate, because success breeds success. And even if your success is small, it takes you to the next level. So that was a very, very important lesson for me. And then grow what you do. So start something, but stick to it. I think we're being taught in our culture that you should always be happy, you know? And nothing worthwhile can be built only on happiness. So when you stick to it, you will sometimes fail. There will be sadness. Stand in that and take that to your next level of bliss. That's part of the journey, and that was certainly part of my journey. And then, if you've grown it, let it change the world. And I can now make the 7 points I made 3 points. Find what you love, grow that, and let it change the world. Those 3 things are very important. Last year, we measured what deals were made at the summit, and we projected the number of deals on the number of delegates this year. And if it's true, we'll measure if it's true. Then what people have learned and what they then apply in the year that follows the summit in their businesses, the money they make and the money they save represents 1.15 billion rand that one summit contributes to the economy of South Africa. And that's very important, that you can say that. And that is also then informing how do we make connections and what are we rolling out while we're making money. We are changing the world for the tech entrepreneur in South Africa. So all of you are pioneers and pilgrims. And when I was very young, I saw a statement that really inspired me, and it said, "Pilgrim, roads are made by walking." And if you think about it, if you walk into a field and there's no road, and you start walking that little path every day, and you retrace your steps, You will have a little brown gravel road, ultimately, and it will be your road. So what I'm saying to you today, you do not have to follow other people's roads. You can build your own road. And it doesn't have to be a big road. It could be a small and beautiful and secretive road. But I hope that some of you will, the roads that you will build will follow you as national highways across borders, and you will make a huge difference in the lives of our continent and in your own life. You can build a global business from wherever you are, from Africa to the world. I thank you.